there's no efficiency gains by dismissing those authors because they're not paid. They're doing it as part of their positions or volunteering because of their commitment to getting the science and the information into the hands of the people who need it.
Hundreds of scientists dismissed in the middle of a major research project on climate. It is the latest controversial move by the Trump administration, this one putting a legally required science analysis in limbo. The 6th National Climate Assessment is quite the mouthful, but in essence, it is a giant cross-country effort of roughly 400 scientists to look at the impacts our changing world has on our daily lives. Think hazards like wildfires or maybe flooding. Also human health, like the deadly heat waves that we've experienced here in our state. Now, the 5th edition, just to give you an idea, topped 1,800 pages. We didn't print the whole thing out, but you can see this is what it would look like. It's part of the reason it took 4 years to pull it all together. Now, more than a year has been into the work for the latest edition of this, but each scientist, including a number here in our state, just received a short email, 4 sentences in length. It noted that there is a legal requirement for all this research, adding, quote, "We are now releasing all current assessment participants from their roles. As plans develop for the assessment, there may be future opportunities to contribute or engage," end quote.
And that's why the language was very careful in terms of the notices we all received, because whoever wrote that clearly had an understanding that this is required by law. And the next battle is going to be a legal battle of what happens next.
I think there's no other way to describe the feeling besides grief and loss. I mean, that's really what it is, both from that personal perspective of knowing that this is such a great opportunity to connect our science with a broader audience and to have a role in a team who's really committed to doing that. But then, yes, also a loss for our region, knowing that this is such an important resource.
Now, that last part she mentioned is the sticking point for many of the scientists. There's an entire chapter on the Northwest, and Raymond, who you just heard from, authors that chapter. We know that Washington's Department of Ecology and the Department of Health, just to name a few, have utilized these reports in recent years. One person told me it's kind of like sending ready and willing volunteer firefighters home in the middle of a wildfire. Now, it remains to be seen what happens next. But as I learned today, while the scientists could be called back, the team that was part of the federal government that pulled all that volunteer work together to make the assessment, well, they've already been fired, meaning even if the scientists are called back, they don't actually have the resources to put the report together as we've seen in previous years.